There's a tornado tearing down Main Street. Cows getting whiskey, some of them feeling risky. Let the good times begin. Wherever the winds take us. A hurricane on Broadway, roasting with no time for dithering. No more defying, no foreshadowing. Wild tornadoes tearing down Main Street in the crazy land. They like taking crazy pills. Let the good times begin. I was on my way to Buffalo, then I was flying to Vegas. Thunder, lightning, rain. Then the blue sky blew in on the wind. In a rock and roll band all across the land. I found myself in the great divide. Visions of east to west. Sunsets from sea to sea, sundown in the west. I'm not clowning, I was on time. The clocks were broken, we all stood in unison. Time to rise, let the good times begin. There's a tornado tearing down Main Street. Cows giving whiskey, someone feeling risky. Let the good times begin. Wherever the wind takes us. A hurricane on Broadway, roasting with no time for dithering, no more fighting, no foreshadowing, wild tornadoes tearing down Main Street in the crazy land. They like taking crazy pills, let the good times begin. I was on my way to Buffalo, then I was flying to Las Vegas. Thunder, lightning, and rain, then the blue sky blew in on the wind. In a rock and roll band all across the land, I found myself in the great divide. Visions of east to west. Sunset from sea to sea, sundown in the west. I'm not clowning. I was on time, the clock's broken. We all stand in unison. Time to ride, let the good times begin. There's a tornado tearing down Main Street. Cows giving whiskey, some are feeling frisky. Let the good times begin. Wherever the wind takes us. Hurricane on Broadway, roasting with her, no time for dithering. Hurricane on Broadway, roasting with her, no time for dithering. No time for dithering. A hurricane on Broadway, roasting made with her, no time for dithering. This is the story of love lost, love gained. Would you cross an ocean of time to find the right moment? Did it go up in ash? Remember fire turns to ash. Wherever time might go, wherever the wind may go. Circles flow around. Sometimes you gotta sit back and close your eyes. Listen to the story. Sometimes you carry the world. Sometimes you carry away the world. Cycles on the wheel, they turn in the sky. Spins round and round till they hit ground. You will realize the scale of the eyes. Far away the splash of water. Listen to the story. Listen to the story of love lost and love gained. Would you cross an ocean of time to find the right moment? Did it go up in ash? Remember, fire always turns to ash. Wherever time may go, wherever winds may go, circles flow round. Sometimes you gotta sit back, close your eyes, listen to the story. Sometimes you carry the weight of the world. Sometimes you carry the weight of the world. Cycles on the wheel, they turn around, spin around and round till they hit ground. You realize the scale in the ice. Fall away in a splash of water. Listen to the story, this is the story of love, lost and gained. Put you across an ocean of time to find the right moment. Did it go up and ask? Remember, fires always turn around. Wherever time may go, wherever the wind may go. Circles flow around sometimes. You gotta sit back, close your eyes, listen to the story. Sometimes you carry the weight of the world. Cycles on the wheel, they turn in the sky. Spin round and round till they hit ground. You will realize the scales in the eyes. Fall away, splash of water, splash of water. Listen to the story, this is the story of love lost and love gained. Put you across an ocean of time to find the right moment. Listen to the story, this is the story of love lost and love gained. Well, 2 new songs. How's everyone going tonight?
Going good.
Did you guys see what I saw? Oh yeah, that's right. We'll save that for close to the end.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Spoilers. There will be spoilers for those of you. We'll give warning before we mention anything. But I suppose I should have put that in the title. Spoilers.
That's all right.
Well, hey, those 2 songs were songs that I have been working on lyric form for the past maybe month. A little bit here, a little fine tuning there, and they both became basically lyrical form. They were ready. They had a personality after that, and so I just had to go out and find its personality, and then matched it up. But yeah. So, how's everyone doing in the chat? How's it going? Good to see you, Tyler Mongo, Mikhail Wolf, Apollo Patriot, Barrett Head. How you doing?
Hail to the best chat on YouTube.
Oh man, you know it.
Toxic Man Flu, Mikhail Wolf.
Well, if I don't, I should.
I think Drunk 3PO appears in the episode.
Yeah. So, man, this episode tonight, episode 1 of The Mandalorian, The Marshal. Yeah, Timothy Olyphant. He's one of my favorite actors, I got to say.
I haven't seen him in a lot, but he brought a lot of presence to this episode. I think it was the best casting they could have had for the role that he played.
Yeah. Little fun fact: John Leguizamo played Gore Koresh, the voice.
Was that the Cyclops?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. It's weird. It didn't sound like him.
Yeah, it's a good thing about voice actors, man. I think John Leguizamo's done some voice acting before.
Well, you could tell it was him if you just if you know what he sounds like normally, and then you just picture him, kind of putting a little bass and a little gravel into it, So
I liked his performance as the clown in Spawn. That was good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a fan of Timothy Olyphant, and I thought that it was a cool part that he played in this. I'm kind of wondering if he's going to be one of those characters we're going to see popping up here and there.
I hope so, because I really enjoyed his character. And they did kind of set it up too.
Yeah, I was gonna say he did say, you know, hope to see you again. So
Yeah. And mere fact that Timothy Oliphant was playing Cobb Vanth, and he was wearing Boba Fett's armor.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers.
well, I mean, you can see that from
If you've seen the episode, you know that.
from
Yeah.
trailer thumbs.
Yeah, maybe we should give the chat a synopsis of the episode.
Basically, the mechanic on Tatooine. That's where they ended up going after they spoke to Gor Koresh. And I gotta say, Mando left Gor Koresh hanging upside down from a streetlight, and you would think that's a relatively innocent thing. Which planet were they on? They hadn't gone to Tatooine yet. It was another desert-like planet.
Yeah, I don't recall what the name of the planet was.
Yeah,
But man, apparently you don't want to be in the dark in that place, because there's little ferocious meat-eating things with red glowing eyes. Mando shot the light out after he got his information. After he found out that there's a Mandalorian that's on Tatooine.
Yep. No, he did promise that he would that the man wouldn't die by his hand. So he did keep his promise.
Right.
You gotta be really detailed about your request of a Mandalorian, because they're gonna give you exactly what you asked for.
Yeah. It actually, that scene kind of reminded me of I believe it was the first Pirates of the Caribbean, when when they were dealing with Barbosa, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, he's like he's like, they're like, you said you wouldn't do that, and he's like, no, I said this, you know, not this. So
yeah, that shot the light out, and Mando walks away, and you know that guy's pretty much he's food at that point.
Yep, they're gonna be chewing on his bones. You know.
Yeah. You know, and they of course they're gonna set course for Tatooine, and of course the Yoda youngling is still there, of course.
Yeah, you know, just an aside here, you know, setting up that planet with the red-eyed creatures, just small little details like that go leaps and bounds to world building.
Yeah, and the noises it was making. It's like, yeah, that's a monster noise from Star Wars.
Yeah.
No, those are little monsters that eat stuff.
Yeah.
The
sound like little carnivores.
Oh yeah.
One of the things that cracked me up or whatever was all the graffiti. You know, when they were walking in, you know, and you saw the graffiti on the walls, and
yeah,
like and they gave like a little nod to C-3PO, because you saw his face painted on the wall.
Yeah, he was almost like Kilroy or something, you know. Kilroy or Gilroy was here or whatever. Like his eyes were popping up, and they had like the little hands.
It was just like the top half of his face. Yeah,
that was quite well done. Yes. So you could tell that this was made by people that understand Star Wars and love Star Wars. It really showed. But go ahead, Bear.
And it was like, you know, the Mandalorian show, you know, God love him, you know, the baby Yoda, you know, he's cute as hell, but you know, that's one thing about this episode is people won't be able to call this episode the Baby Yoda show, you know.
Hey, do you ever notice baby youngling smiling at anyone? Think about that for Think about that for a minute. It don't smile.
He's smiled a couple times.
Not in a way that maybe a little, but
didn't you ever see him when he was like eating a frog or whatever? He was all like, "Hey,
hey, that was food." That's the only thing you really smile. That's in that world, when you're that thing, you're probably smiling about the food. But I have noticed that there's not much smiling going on. And when he looks at people, he looks at them. So,
well, maybe
to me, that seems like a potential danger, and I think people are ignoring the fact that there's some danger there.
All right. Well, maybe when he grows up.
Pay attention to the cuteness at your peril. All of a sudden, you were force bent or something like that because you were trying to grab the kid. You know what I'm saying? It don't want to be grabbed. Yeah. You're upside down, thrown across the room.
Maybe when he grows up, and he's on some planet, by himself, living in a hut, and some pilot crash lands there, then we'll see him expose his funny bone.
Now, what? How old? That's weird. How old is Baby Yoda again? Like 80 years old or something? I forget.
50.
50.
Okay, 50. Had a feeling, yeah.
I'm waiting for him to like actually say something because
I think he can. I think he can talk.
Like according to the books and whatnot, Yoda was like somewhere around 100 years old when he became a Jedi Master or whatever, and so that's what, twice as old as what this one is supposed to be.
Right.
And so I would think that Yoda had been talking more than half of his life by the time he became a Jedi Master.
Well, when you go by that, I think there's something mysterious I've always thought about this particular creature because I think he can talk.
Yeah, well, I've thought that from the beginning. That it's like a part defense mechanism or whatever.
Come on, he tried the Force choke Cara Dune.
Yeah. Well, no, but I mean, like if he puts on the ruse, that he's a kid, it gives him like a bit of a buffer or whatever, with people, like, because if they thought he was, if they thought he was older and smarter, then they might, there's that more of a perception of him being some sort of a threat or whatever, so.
I wonder if we're going to see Baby Yoda shoot Force lightning. I would change my opinion on Baby Yoda if I saw that.
It's hard to say, man. I think there's a lot of mysteries in that area. I think some of the mystery could be revealed in bits and pieces.
Probably. I mean, that would be the smart play. It'd be the smart play to have it revealed in bits and pieces.
Yeah, and probably they should probably knock it off with the cutesy stuff. That's not necessary. Because a being that looks cutesy that Forks chose another character, that's not cutesy. Nope.
Yep.
That's a very dangerous creature.
Well,
don't make it mad.
Just from a certain point of view.
Yeah, well, supposedly they're supposed to be looking for his people, so I don't know. That would be kind of cool to see. I mean, if they do it well, which I think they would, to show us what the Yoda homeworld looks like.
Evening, Makani. How you doing?
Hey, Makani.
Yeah. What's going on? Yeah, I don't. And the one thing that I'm wondering about, and because it was in one of the one of the first trailers or whatever was that WWE chick. I can't think of her name.
Cara Dune?
No, the wrestling gal. Like he's it looks like he's on some sort of dock or something, like there's a bunch of crates and stuff around, and there's a gal in a cloak, a hooded cloak.
In this episode?
No.
Oh, okay.
In one of the trailers. And it's like, when they're doing the bit of the female Mandalorian saying, back in the day, the Mandalorians were fighting against the Jedi, and then they show this gal, off to the side, kind of like scoping out the Mandalorian. Anyway, supposedly this gal is supposed to be playing Sabine Wren, who is, the Mandalorian chick from Rebels.
That would be cool if done right.
But the thing is though, she's not she's not wearing her helmet or anything like that. So, if she is playing Sabine, then that's going to be some sort of at least an opportunity to explain the I can't take my helmet off thing.
Hasn't come of age yet.
I would rather have them not brush up against the Rebels Clone Wars world. I would rather just have them keep doing what they're doing and kind of stay out of that. I like where it's going. See, this is what I wanted as a Star Wars fan. I wanted to explore after Return of the Jedi what happens when the Empire is gone, how people live, and the world building. This is kind of what I wanted to see, and I mean, Favreau seems to really understand that, so they should put him in charge of Lucasfilm and get rid of Kathleen Karen Kennedy.
Well, her contract is up, what, next year?
Yeah, I think it's in February. God, that woman's contemptible. But we're not going to talk about her because we're talking about good Star Wars.
Right. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good indeed.
So I mean, the plot, it's a good plot. It's a Western motif. They go there and meet the mechanic chick with the frizzy hair, and I like her character quite a bit.
Yeah.
That mechanic kind of jokes around with, you want to sell that? I'm just kidding. I'm not really kidding.
Yeah.
Referring to Baby Yoda. Yeah,
Baby Yoda.
Yeah. So this is interesting. I don't know if I tuned it out the last time The Mandalorian was on or if they didn't mention it, but the names of the towns, they're like most this and most that, most Isley, most something else. And I still can't remember the town they ultimately went to, so I called it Most Deaf. So,
well, they said it. They said it a couple times.
Most Pugsley, most. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
Most Pocket.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
But it looked pretty dreary.
Yeah, it did. Looked like a mining town.
Oh, good Lord.
But yeah, so yeah, it's her that gives them the tip on where to go, right? Frizzy hair lady.
She shows a map of Tatooine before the fall of the Empire, and then shows it after. And she says, "Me may not want to approach by ship."
Mos Purga,
or something like that. Yeah.
There you go, Mos Purga. Yeah. Right, and then he gets on like the Attack of the Clones, Anakin Skywalker, motorcycle speeder, which is way cool. But I thought the scapes of him, the scenes of him riding that Mandalorian looked better than they did in the Attack of the Clones. It looked much more natural. Like I really bought that he was riding through the desert. So he rides through the desert to get to most percolating, and he moseys on into the saloon, and it looks very Star Wars, but you also get that Western motif going. And he sits at the bar, and who should happen to walk up to the doors while he's sitting at the bar but somebody wearing Boba Fett armor.
And apparently he's carrying the same ammo that chings when he walks.
Yeah.
And just as a side here, let's compare and contrast this Western motif in Mandalorian versus the Western motif in Discovery. So I think it's done a little bit better here. A little bit better.
Yeah, because Star Wars was a space Western always, basically, Think about that. And so it meshes.
Although the actor that played the evil space cowboy in Discovery would probably be okay in Mandalorian. I could see him in this. But anyway, Mosey's in. He comes in. You're like, is this guy?
Philip Gaming.
Hail Philip Gaming. Yeah, he just stole my joke. I know. Yeah, and so not Boba Fett sits down and pulls his helmet off, and it's Timothy Oliphant. I can't remember the name of this character, but I called him Drunk 3PO in my review because he looks like Drunk 3PO to me for some reason.
Cobb Vanth.
Yep, Cobb Vanth, as I said before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
plays a interesting character, gotta say. It's looking like they're gonna sit down having a drink, and Mando's like all about, you need to give that up. You're not a Mandalorian.
Yep.
That armor belongs to me. I by right have a right to take that. So looks like they're gonna go at it, and then something rumble jumble, a big old earthquake's coming, but no. Yeah. It's a half prehistoric shark and lizard thing that crawls underground.
Yeah, lizard worm thing.
Yeah.
It looks like it's got the front head of a shark mixed with dragon head.
I like how
great white shark mixed with dragon head.
I like how when they're basically getting in the dueling positions or whatever, and then the rumbling starts, and then and freaking old Cobb looks at the Mandalorian and gives him the hold on one moment finger and walks over to the door. I thought that was funny.
That was definitely a one moment kind of moment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, but I mean, it's like, hey, we're about to start shooting at each other, and then all of a sudden he's like, "What? Hold on a second." But
and it was well done too. The scenes of it, like they have these little weather vanes that start, or maybe it's solar, maybe it's wind power. Yeah, wind power.
Yeah, it's like a little windmill started going. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got two suns. They probably have solar panels as well.
Yeah, it makes sense. But it was well done. It really set it up. It really set the tone really well. Little details like that, like the graffiti in the beginning and the rumbling and just the way the town is set up. It really is like a dreary town. And the way the little weather vanes started spinning, all that stuff, just really adds to the richness of the storytelling. And so that happens, and then they have a conversation. And he's like, "Well, I'll give you the armor if you help me kill that thing." And the Mando says, "Great, I'll get my ship and I'll blast it from space or the air or whatever." And he's like, "You can't do that. You've got because it'll hide it here. It knows engines of spacecraft,
vibrations."
Yeah, the
vibrations. Thing that goes in the ground and all that. It probably has senses vibrations. Sort of a similar storyline as graboids.
Yeah. There was a time or two in that episode though where you're like, you're like kind of hoping that that Paul Atreides would be riding on his back, but
Yeah, I did get a bit of a Dune vibe on one part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sleeper has awakened.
Oh God, I hope they do that. That new one. I hope they do it justice. I really do.
It's got to have 80.
Because I mean, it's going to be hard to beat that. That what was it? 1984, 85.
Yeah, it's got to have that 80s rock guitar. Hopefully they've maintained that. I don't see how they can.
So, what do you guys think of that speeder of Vance?
Oh, yeah, I like that. That was cool.
Pod racing rocket, basically.
Yeah, it pretty much looked like just one of Anakin's. Like they took one of Anakin's engines from his pod racer and
Looked like it.
Threw a seat on the side of it.
Yep.
It sure did look like it.
Yeah, it was cool. I do like.
It looked fast.
Yeah, it had a pretty big engine. It looked like it was more built for torque than it was for speed, but
I suppose it loses a minor advantage just being one instead of two pod racing engines.
Yeah.
See, that's another thing that Favreau gets really right is even when he puts prequel era stuff in, like the little droids that you punch the nose from Phantom Menace and they collapse, and the pod racing thing, and even a character that shows up later that we'll get to.
Yeah.
It still has the OT feel to it. It doesn't have the prequel feel to it. So it feels like it fits in the universe seamlessly. It doesn't feel it doesn't feel like I felt when I watched the prequels where I thought, well, this doesn't really fit in with the tone and the aesthetic of Star Wars. So that's hard to do. And hats off to him for pulling it off.
Well, in the prequels, if they would have used practical effects, the tone would have been okay.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
But it was the first time using something as advanced CGI as they did. Shit, didn't they have to invent the cameras to shoot it?
I think the little balls and crap that they used to put on people and things like that to get the the mocap was all. That's where it all started, I believe.
Oh yeah. So they're pretty much Mando's on a speeder. Vance Cobb is on his speeder that used to be a pod racer engine, and they're moving at a good clip, and they're going into it looks like a box canyon, but it's got a way out. It's not a box canyon, but it has that feel. It gets narrow, and these weird creatures making these weird howling animal kind of noises, and they come to a stop and they come out. And apparently, they look like wolves or dogs that have been domesticated, and Mando's talking to them. And they're talking to him. One comes up to get petted, and apparently, they were domesticated by Sand People because the Sand People walked out next.
Mm-hmm.
So they pretty much come to terms where they're going to sit down and talk and decide to basically take out the animal with more help. But there's history between the townspeople and the Sand People. Bad history. They've been raiding each other and killing one another and all that, and so
and Mando was speaking Tusken Raider too.
What's the name of their language? Tuscanese, something like that.
I have no idea.
I think it's do your imitation, Shellback.
Yeah.
That's the name of it. Yeah. Yeah. That's the name of the language.
That's it.
To me, I wonder if it's more like just their their masks or whatever that they're wearing. If it's because because they're actually humans, but they wear that ugly ass helmet or whatever, as I think partially as an intimidation factor, and it's actually kind of like what they're trying to do with the Mandalorian, as far as the only people that they let see their face is other Tuscans. So but they are like human, or
Humanoid.
Yeah, but
Humanoid. And the pieces, the head units that they wear, because it's helmets with bunch of cloth they wrap around their head. They wear that for protection from the sand.
Yeah.
Because of all the sandstorms on Tatooine.
But I'm just saying, like other things that I've read and stuff. It's
oh yeah.
The only people that see what they actually look like are other Tuscans. So they don't. If you're not,
I'm sure when they bed down for the night, they probably take them off.
Yeah. I'm sure, like trying to sleep in that freaking headgear would be like having a damn CPAP hooked up to you.
But if you ever notice, there's always Tusken Raiders outside on guard, always.
Yeah.
I guess we're not supposed to call them sand people anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh? Who said that?
I thought it was the Kathleen Kennedy Story Group, because that has a negative connotation, I guess.
Never did before.
Well, they're the ones that think this stuff up, Bear. they just dream of ways to think of stuff that offends people.
Well, I mean,
it originated in the first Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Well, in the first movie, he's like, yeah, there's sand people down there, all right.
It's sort of like,
but later on,
like apple pie, Star Wars, apple pie, both good things. It's like they're saying apple pie's not good no more.
Yeah, they're gonna redub over the other one. Look, it's gonna be Obi-Wan Kenobi talking. He's gonna say, "Tusken Raiders travel single file."
Yeah. Actually, I think he actually did say that or something. But they
stand people.
They've been referred to as both.
Right.
But like
hey, Tusken Raider is offensive to Italian people. They need to stop.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The people of Tuscany. Yeah.
So getting the Tusken Raiders, and especially getting the townspeople, getting those two to work together, it's not easy. It wasn't that easy. It took some convincing.
Right.
But the key thing the Tusken Raiders put in the deal is they wouldn't kill any townspeople, any of the people there.
Yeah.
And it kind of sounded like allies being formed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about allies, but at least in that the case of them going after
a treaty.
Yeah, after going after the there was a singular threat that brought them together. So they did ultimately fight and die together fighting the giant sandworm. But yeah,
Because think of the people that you have peace with, trading partners.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, fighting a crate dragon will bring you together, But yeah, I don't know. Which it had a tone of like, European, Wild West pioneers, getting along with American Indians back in the day.
It did kind of have that vibe a little bit.
Yeah, maybe it did a little. Eh?
Yeah, I mean they're sitting around the fire and trying to, Mondo's trying to make peace, and yeah, they started getting a little bit in a heated argument, and he was able to calm things down.
Cobb not drinking the noxious drink.
Yeah, yep, yeah, that almost caused
a big schism.
Yeah, for sure. That a scene there. And then going back and trying to, getting him to sell it to the townspeople. That was like classic Wild West trope right there. That was really good stuff.
Yeah.
Sure was.
What cracked me up was was the weak way, the freaking, out of all the people in town, the weak way was the one that referred to the sand people as monsters. I'm like, I'm like, wait a minute, have you looked in the mirror lately? But yeah, I thought that was funny.
So they're gonna fight this worm that's got freaking fangs and teeth like you wouldn't believe,
and it's gigantic.
And Mando at one point says, this thing could just eat your town. It's surprising that it hasn't done so already. So this thing's huge. This thing is huge. It's about as long as probably 120 story building. Seemed pretty big.
That big, but it was pretty big, yeah.
Tall wise,
Yeah.
length wise, probably about as big as 2 buses around.
Yeah,
maybe a little more, give or take.
At least. Yeah, the
what are those banthas they write on?
Yeah.
One gulp, that's a snack.
Yeah. Which that's another thing that caught my eye was going back to the first movie, when Obi-Wan was telling Luke, that they travel single file, to hide their numbers. And sure enough, in this episode, Jon Favreau had them going single file. So.
I say I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
See, I mean, it's those details. I mean, somebody that clearly loves Star Wars. It's nice to see.
Yeah, well, you remember in the movie, right? After Luke and Obi-Wan come across the sandcrawler that had been hit, and he's like, they were talking, and Obi-Wan points out, he's like, no, these bantha tracks and stuff are side by side, so it wasn't the Tuscans that did it, because Tuscans always stay single file.
He said sand people, but yeah.
He did say sand people.
Yeah, which you're not allowed to say anymore, apparently.
Well, they like I said, I think they said both, but I would actually have to go back and watch the movie to see, when and where, which I might actually do that after we're done.
Well, we get going to the scene where they're all going to get to this the lair of the monster, and the sand people have these look like huge 12-foot wide crossbows that shoot spears
Yeah.
with big gnarly pronged hooks on the end.
If
Any
anybody,
normal person would get killed by it.
yeah, it reminded you of the ones that they used on Game of Thrones to shoot at the dragons with. That scale, that size.
Comparable with things I've
Yeah.
seen in other movies like Lord of the Rings and
Yeah.
stuff like that. They have similar stuff. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah,
So they're gonna fight this freaking thing. What was your impression when you seen them taking the bantha up to a post and tied it off? What was your impression with that, Wes?
Which time? 'Cause I think they did it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Well, the first time was most impressive.
Yes, the first time was most impressive. So yeah, they I thought it was hilarious actually. I thought it was very funny.
Yeah.
Because so yeah, he ties one of the Tusken Raiders, one of the Sand People, ties up a bantha to a post, and they explain that they like to keep the sandworm on a full stomach because it sleeps more. So they kind of almost like sacrifice banthas to it.
Mm-hmm.
And he makes a noise. Do your noise, Shellback. To call the sandworm, and when he does that, he runs off and tries to get distance between him and the bantha, but the sandworm.
And to be honest, he lingered just a little too long.
Should have ran behind the bantha, not to the side of it.
Right.
And so the sandworm ends up eating the sand person instead of the bantha.
Yeah. Well, it's because he was running,
Oh yeah, and it looks like it prefers sand people.
Oh
Yeah. I think the horns on the bantha give it indigestion, is what it is.
no, because he had already eaten a bantha earlier in town. Remember?
Well, we got these real tall ridge lines surrounding the old Sarlacc pit / cave that used to be a Sarlacc that basically, I think the sand people ate it.
Yeah, that's what they implied. Yeah. And that also gives an explanation for how Boba Fett's armor was recovered.
Well, I got the impression that it was the Krayt dragon that ate the Sarlacc. That's why he was, now the current resident. So, I don't know.
I don't know. I think it could go either way, but I think they gave the impression that the sand people had a taste for it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Especially at the end. Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but yeah, the sand people seem to eat anything.
Well,
so they're shooting these spears left and right at this thing, trying to keep it from retreating because it's about to retreat. They got a bunch of explosives laid down where, and these things are the size of your arm, if not bigger, and about as long, and they're all laid down in a trench, right where the sandworm would be tempted to dive down at them where they were at, and he didn't do that, and they wanted him to gulp that up, but he didn't, and so they were pretty much screwed at that point, and they were struggling and all that stuff. It got to the point to where the Mando and Cobb, they're flying around trying to get the attention of this thing. This thing shoots out the top of one of the mountains. It's not a too tall mountain, but it's a good size. It's a damn big broken down mountain out in the desert flats of Tatooine, and and it's going ape shit, man. It's off the rails. It looks like they're gonna pretty much get ate, and it comes to a point to where Mando starts looking at one of the banthas. It's got a whole bunch of same explosives that were still tied to it, and so the bantha was tacked down, and so he did something to the rocket that Cobb was wearing, and he just shot off.
Mm.
Yeah.
And he was luring the sandworm in, and it came and it was going for it. Mando got ate.
Mm.
Yeah, that was a pretty good moment. And by the way, folks, the wire work for the stunts was just
My God.
amazing, dude. It was seamless. It was really some of the best wire work I've ever seen.
Man, that was really good. The wire work they were doing. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
looked like they were taking off on jetpacks and landing, and the way they landed, it was freaking
looked
amazing.
It looked realistic.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that that one part, at least for me, was like a nod at Return of the Jedi. You know, during the Sarlacc pit scene. You know, when Boba Fett flew over to where Han and Luke were. And he's like, Boba Fett, where and he whacks the he whacks the jetpack. So
Oh yeah, it does. That's what sends them flying. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't notice that? Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I did notice that it was hitting a different way, but
Well, he
the nod
there's
to it.
there's a tip of his rifle that he can send electric charge through. I think he put a small one to it when he touched it. Engage the rocket.
Actually, I think he hit it with the butt of the gun, but
Oh, was the butt?
Yeah.
Apparently, he hit a sensitive spot.
Right. It's a.
And I don't know if you guys remember, but Mando, he can electrify his armor.
I did not remember, but that was a good point because it saved his life.
Yeah. Plus, the electricity was probably shooting out of the tip of his rifle as well.
Well, I was gonna say I don't know about his armor. I know his rifle. That's what those prongs. That's what
electricity
it is for. It's like a freaking cattle prod. Because we saw that in the first episode of the first season. With the freaking ice whale or whatever it was.
So
but when the creature spit him out,
yeah,
he was enveloped in that blue electricity crackling all over.
Yeah. Well, he was probably in there, freaking just poking the shit out of his insides with that freaking rifle. But
that was pretty cool scene, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Then the thing goes boom.
Mm-hmm.
Big boom.
Right.
Yeah.
Which you were like, the first time, and it's like, and they look at each other and they're like, "You think it's dead?" And no, I don't think it is. And it's like,
Mando and Cobb, they're just saying to each other, "I think it's dead," and they're like, "No." You can see the dread. It's like, oh man, we got to go at this more.
But the plan, the way the plan was is that it should have worked, but I guess they thought they laid that they laid enough explosives down, and
you see how much that thing was carrying? Man, that was carrying a lot of explosives on its back.
Yeah. I'm just saying, because because when I first saw that, I'm like, why does that thing still have explosives on it? And I'm like, well, I guess they must have thought that they had enough, buried already, but apparently not.
they had some saved aside just in case.
It wasn't. Yeah. I was like, well, that must not have been in the script. So.
That must have been their fallback plan. They didn't talk about on screen.
But yeah, I kind of picked up on his train of thought, pretty quick. I was just like, but I was kind of expecting him to duck out of the way at the last moment, but
So was I. I was like,
he's like, no, he was fully committed.
yeah,
You know?
I don't think he got out of the way in time. That's what I was thinking
Yeah.
as it all happened. Yeah.
But,
So pretty much they kind of after that they were all congratulating each other and all that, and everyone was happy that they killed the thing and all that.
yeah.
But
It was kind of funny too, because the
yeah, I've been kind
only part of that thing was sticking out. You know, no telling how much of the body was still underground. You know, but
right. Let's see here. Let's do that. Well, we've been saving this for the tail end because I noticed something at the end. Yeah.
Has anybody in the chat seen this at all? This episode?
Well, it's been up for what 24 hours, a little more now.
Yeah,
I think
know,
so.
but,
Yeah.
I mean,
It came out what Wednesday about 11 something.
oh yeah. It's as soon as it becomes Friday, you can watch it. Yeah, but
So yeah,
I mean,
that there.
is
See who that is?
that's Tamura Morrison,
Mm-hmm.
aka Jango Fett, aka
Boba Fett.
Boba.
Yeah.
Or a clone. I mean, even though I doubt it, but we can't rule it out, but like, I don't think I'm kind of thinking, especially since what was said before the show even started this season.
Well, if you would have
Boba.
been, I don't know if you heard it, but I did. When he was walking away, his feet were jingling. Oh, and by the way, in the credits, he's listed as Boba Fett.
I was looking. I still haven't found that yet, but I was looking. What's funny though, is like, they
right there.
Well, no, I mean, I was actually looking on the credits of the episode.
So
this is IMDb. It's going to have everything on
yeah,
there.
yeah.
What if he's not the Boba Fett, but he's another Jango Fett clone that's assuming the identity of a Boba Fett? Think they would throw us a curveball like that?
No.
It's possible. It's possible. I would say that's probably possible, but
I don't think so.
They've got him listed in the cast as Boba Fett.
I don't think so because the clones, if you watched the Clone Wars, the clones, prided, that was like a actual point of pride for them to have like their own name, so I doubt.
So does everybody remember when I did a video about the person walking up in the cape with the boots? Now it's possible that could have been another assassin with similar boots with the same jingle. We've heard it because Mando has the same thing because Mando jingles when he walks, if you notice that. And like it sounds like he's wearing spurs almost. And it sounds like Cobb was wearing spurs, but he had the same ammo. I think the ammo is what's making that noise.
And that's the thing, because if you look, neither one of them have actual spurs on their boots.
Yeah, it's that
So what
ammunition
the
around
hell-
their boot. It's that ammunition around their boot that's making noise. It's like it's almost intentional.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I predicted that it would be Boba Fett.
I'm interested. See, I have a lot of questions. Like, why was Boba Fett? If that's Boba Fett, why was he not wearing his Boba Fett armor?
I have the same question.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like that one shot from last season when that person comes up on Ming-Na Wen's supposedly dead corpse, was the boots. The boots looked, black in color, and so that's what makes me think that was Moff Gideon. Now they never showed who it was, so there's no way to know for sure. But
And you got to remember,
going by the boot, it makes me think it was Moff Gideon. Now I
a
know
starlit night with
Boba.
a starlit night without a moon, everything's gonna look
Yeah.
black. Also consider that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but yeah,
I still have questions about Moff Gideon too. So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, this show's great about teeing things up and getting you interested, and then see. And I mean, I'm also interested to see how the season progresses, because there were some what I thought were filler episodes in season 1. I feel like the production value, at least on this episode, was it felt a little higher to me than the overall production value of season 1.
yeah. I just hope that they continue with the length. Like I actually liked the fact that they had like a good 40 minutes worth of episode instead of
I think this
20
episode,
or 25.
Yeah, I think this clocked in around 52 minutes, 53 minutes, something
Yeah,
like
but
that.
that's like previews and credits and all combined. So the actual length of the episode is probably 10 minutes shorter.
It was 39 minutes and 35 seconds long.
Wow. Okay. Well, that would be pretty typical of season 1 then. Just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But the season 1 episodes, by the time you got that you chopped off the the credits and the previous episodes, all the bull crap, you only had like 22 to 25 minutes worth of actual episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind however long it is, as long as the story is told well. And I definitely think it was done in this case, which kind of brings me to I'm just curious here. What do you guys give this rating wise on a scale of 1 to 10?
8. 8 out of 10.
I also have come down on an 8 out of 10. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we're normally pretty close score wise.
Yeah, we usually are. We usually kind of are good with that.
Yeah.
Shellback.
I'd say at least an 8, if not higher. But I mean, there was a lot of.
So how would you say that in Tuscan?
Right? No, I think I've done enough. Yeah. But
Yeah, it's
Are you sure
definitely
that's how it said.
yeah.
Sound like you forgot a vowel in there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. We've been hearing a lot of rumors about the production and production problems with it and reshoots and that kind of crap. So I hope that Yeah, I mean, I just I hope the quality is maintained. We'll see, but I really, this is an 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, and it's nice to see 8 out of 10 stuff versus 2 out of 10 stuff, which is what Star Trek Discovery was this week. Oof. I don't know if you guys want to talk about that or not. It's nice talking about stuff I like, though.
I mean, it's like you could probably go and find stuff to nitpick about, but I like I've always kind of preferred the Siskel and the Siskel and Ebert thumbs up, thumbs down instead of trying to put a number on it, and this episode got a thumbs up from me, so
fair enough.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a right or wrong way to rate something, as long as you're.
But I mean,
honest.
as far as the number goes, it was at least an 8, if not higher. But
yeah, I mean, this felt like Star Wars. It was entertaining. Had that that Western feel to it. Little Easter eggs like the C-3PO "Where's Waldo" on the wall.
Yeah.
All that was just it was great. And then the the Easter eggs with some of the creatures from like Return of the Jedi. I think they had they didn't have a Twi'lek woman, unfortunately for you, Apollo Patriot.
No, but they had the doorman. The doorman was a Twi'lek. So.
Yeah. Then they have those. What are those? Does anybody in the chat know what those rhinoceros creatures are that were in Jabba's palace? Luke Skywalker force choked one of them. They had the two of those fighting in a ring. That was little touches like that.
Those weren't. You mean the pig people?
No, they're rhinos.
Huh?
They look like rhinos almost, cross between a rhino and a pig.
Yeah. I think they have really long teeth that are sticking up.
That tusk. Yeah. Well, no, when you say rhino, I'm thinking horns, and I'm like, they don't have horns. They got freaking tusks, though. No, those
whatever.
Those are freaking. Those are Gamorreans.
Gamorreans. Okay.
Gamorreans.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There we go. That's the word I was looking for.
I was gonna say tusk a slimer and.
Yeah.
That's slimy, kind of.
Right.
So, Bear, did you catch Star Trek Discovery this week?
I did.
I feel bad for you.
I did.
So what would be your new? I don't know. Should we? Oh God! So first of all, I want to ask you.
Hail another monster.
Yeah.
So we haven't hail another monster. So we haven't I think given each other our takes yet. I'll ask you this: was it worse than the week before? Was episode 3 worse than episode 2 for you?
No, there was some interesting things about this episode. Those were mostly in the engineering department.
Okay.
There might have been some interesting moments, maybe.
So
the whole Earth Defense Force going backwards and shit. The Federation not being on Earth. I thought that was stupid.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty stupid.
That was dumb.
Stupid. It was.
I haven't seen any of this show other than snippets, from YouTube or people's videos, where they talk, where they're talking about the show. But I happened to catch a video of the script doctor doing his review of that episode, season 3, episode 1 or whatever.
Apparently there's a human with a trill in it.
And he was doing I mean, that's a pretty damn good play-by-play on that video. So I kind of feel like I watched the episode in a way. And I'm like, I almost had a headache. I was like, I can't picture, actually watching the actual episode, because I mean the gymnastics or whatever that he was talking about.
The show really was all over the place. It really was. There was really no No
Well, it's
structure.
Okay, and here's something that Steven mentioned, I think, on one of our watch throughs, and that is that this is a very unattractive cast. And when they got to Earth, they had more really unattractive people, like that chick with the buck teeth that got on there with the little afro. I called her not Michael Burnham, the head of the Earth Defense Force. and then the Trill chick.
She was probably the most interesting character out of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely wasn't.
I didn't say it was good.
Well,
I said it was just. It was interesting.
So I've got questions, man. I've got questions. Okay, so here are my questions. So, in the TNG episode, the first appearance of the Trill, you had the Trill. Okay, so the host got injured, and the Trill got put into Commander Riker's body. And Commander Riker, when they put the Trill inside of Commander Riker, he had complete and total recall of all the knowledge that the symbiote had. But this young girl doesn't have that. And then also, he became gravely ill by hosting a Trill. So I don't understand why this little girl is not, experiencing either of those. I'm confused.
Well, isn't it pretty much just that one race of people that hosts the symbiote or whatever?
Yeah, the Trill.
Oh,
Trill.
okay. That's the all right. So yeah, that I mean, it's understandable that Riker, being a human, would have some side effects, but is the girl you're talking about, is she a Trill or not a Trill?
She's a human.
Okay. I don't know. Well, it's kind of like when I was watching Script Doctor's video, he was talking about Mikey Spock's space suit or whatever that saved her from being when she did the bouncy ball thing, from skydiving or whatever.
Yeah, they're Trill from the planet Trill.
Yeah. But that saved that suit saved Mikey Spock from mortal injury, but yet the ship itself was not strong enough to keep the crew from injury, from basically the same. I don't know. He made a really good point. It's like it was like a similar situation. And they have a suit protecting one person, but yet a spaceship that's supposed to be stronger than a freaking suit couldn't do the same job. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. And then there's just I have questions. Okay, so in episode 3, Book and so you've seen from episode 1 the way that Mikey Spock and Book were looking at each other. She spent a year with Book, and they make a point almost of saying that there was no relationship, and even they went as far to say there's been no physical consummation of the relationship. Why do that? I mean, why is that? Is there something wrong with
they have to make it obvious?
Yeah, is there something wrong with a man and a woman, having an FWB type situation, or boyfriend girlfriend? I mean, is it are these writers saying that it's wrong for a woman to be able to succumb to a man's advances? Is that where they're going with it? I'm confused.
Right.
because that seems to be what was implied by it.
Yeah. Well, it has to be
That- that-
consensual, you know. It has
Well,
to be
well,
consensual.
Well, they seem to be implying that if she had any kind of a relationship with Book,
Yeah.
that took away from her character in some way.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it, and it was done in a really stupid way. So I was just wondering what you guys thought about that.
Yeah. God forbid that she put herself in a any type of submissive position.
Yeah, I mean that's really what it seemed like. It's like it's okay, you know,
Yeah.
we're grown ups here. It's okay.
Right. Yeah.
She can have a boyfriend. He can have a girlfriend. They can have an adult relate. It's okay. We're not little kids. I mean, you guys can go around
Right.
and murder like 30 people in an
Right,
episode.
yeah.
But Mikey
I mean-
Spock can't have a boyfriend. You know, I mean, what?
I mean, she
fuck?
can still, you know, she can still be in charge at the office, and you know, let him be in charge in the bedroom. You know, it happens all the time. You know,
It does, yeah. You know, I mean, I don't see why they couldn't have an adult relationship. It just seems silly. But you know, meanwhile, I mean, and I think Gary pointed this out. I love that Colbert and Stamets were making out while some dude without a face was dying on a bio bed, one bio bed over. It was like, but that's okay. But I don't know. I'm confused.
Holy shit!
I'm really
I missed that
confused.
one.
Yeah, I missed it too. But it was on as he had as heels versus babyface, and I was like, I don't remember there being a guy without a face, but
I don't know. I'd have to figure out how to watch it, you know, out in the ocean, you know, on the high seas, as they say.
Oh, you mean you were visiting a cabin that had all the fixings and trimmings and all that for TV? Cool.
Yeah.
Well, there's a way to do that. It's the same.
Yeah.
You know, the same ocean that I think I directed you to the last time.
Yeah. But because I mean,
gotta set your sails, my friend. Set your sails and get your compass out. And
I mean, even though I know it's bad, you know, it's like the curiosity that killed the cat. You know, you just like you still. You know, you still want to know what other people are seeing. You know, it's like you feel like you're missing out, even though you know it's bad. You know.
Well, you are a sailor, Shellback, so it's totally natural.
But well, the thing is, I kind of have a thing for Tilly. You know, even though I haven't really, like I said, I haven't seen the show.
Does anybody besides me think that Tilly was possibly pregnant?
I don't think she was pregnant. I think she had
not in the storyline in real life.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. No, I think she, along with much of the cast, you know, picked up the Pink Elephant 19, you know, from Staying at Home.
The CV body. Yeah.
Yeah. That's I think that's what because there's a lot of people I've come across a lot of people that have picked up the Pink Elephant 19.
A lot of people I've noticed a lot of people have commented on she looks a little beefier this season than she did last season.
Well, I think maybe a little porkier perhaps, but not beefier.
Well, beef, pork, whatever, you know. I mean, I've eaten both, so. But no, I don't know. I like me a ginger, you know. So.
Yeah, Tilly definitely has her fans. Yeah. She has her fans for sure. Yeah, but yeah. Wow, where do we go from there? Right. So. So anyway, they had an alien that wore a bug. Okay,
Tilly has that effect when I'm watching. It's like, okay, what did I just watch?
I definitely. Okay, do you think she's going to win a marathon this season?
I don't know. Apparently, she was a runner last season, though. I mean, because I saw a couple of clips.
She's going to have to drop a significant amount of weight. Otherwise, it won't be believable. She has to tone down. If she's going to run a marathon, she's going to have to even if she's gonna run like a TV marathon where it's not real, she's gonna have to get in shape. She's gonna have to tone down in order to it be realistic and believable.
Well, she was possessed when she won the marathon last season, so that could have something to do with it.
Oh, okay.
We're like, Tilly, how did Tilly win a marathon? We're not fat. I'm not fat shaming her. She's just like, there was some, there was like Chariots of Fire people in that marathon with her.
Oh yeah.
Well, no, I mean, from what I've seen of the lady, I mean, I wouldn't call her fat now. She's just thicker, but
big boned.
Yeah. I'm big boned.
Well, she looks a little bigger boned than last season.
Yeah.
To be clear.
Yeah, a little bit.
But one of the things I've noticed, people talking about is like she like they've decreased her IQ along the way, like she seems a little bit, airheadish. Is that a good assessment?
She seems just as airheadish as she has been in all the other episodes. I guess with the job they give her on the ship, she's not doing. She started off being a prodigy and an assistant of Stamets with the spore drive, and now I can't really tell what she does on the ship, except for run marathons and talk to her dead friends. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe Star Trek Discovery is like Saint Elsewhere, where they're all in a snow globe.
She talks to dead people.
She did, yeah.
Really? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. What'd you think of the defense grid around the planet?
Well, I started laughing. I was like, oh, they're doing a Brexit Trump thing. That's what they're doing. Okay. Got it.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah. Earth pulled out of the Federation, and they have a giant defense grid barrier around the planet. Oh, how much more on the nose do you people want to make this shit? And
nobody's welcome.
Yeah, we don't need anybody, says not Michael Burnham.
So the future of Earth has turned into like an almost xenophobic planet where they don't let no one come there.
Yeah, pretty much. But here's the thing: Brexit. And we talk about the politics, and there's no balance there. Brexit, what I didn't think was about xenophobia. I thought it was about, hey man, you got unelected bureaucrats telling us how to run our shit, and we want to run our own shit. Like we'll make our own agreement with you and trade with you and do all that stuff, but we don't want to sign on to this, massive bureaucratic mess. We want to be able to have our own representatives and make our own laws. And that, they just never represent the other side of that argument, I mean, and case in point, the evil white dude, right? The dude with the bug head. Mm-hmm. So you've only got two white dudes on the show. You've got Stamets, and you've got Doug Jones playing Saru, right? So you got this dude, and it was obvious it was a helmet too. Like I was like, are they going to? And sure enough, they pull him, they kidnap him, and Georgiou goes, diplomacy is too slow, and she kicks his head. She kneecaps him and then kicks his head off. And there's an evil white dude underneath it. I was like, oh God, really? Evil white dude. And so
they were surviving on Titan.
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck? And he's like, God, it's so dumb. God. So apparently, yeah, I don't even know what the explanation was, but I think it was like they lost communication 100 years ago, and neither one of, they were both, I guess, fuck, I don't know. It's so mind-numbingly stupid. I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
Evil white dude.
Yeah,
evil white dude. There's a song in there somewhere. I can feel it.
Yeah, well, I have a feeling there's gonna be an evil white dude in every episode this season. I'm making that prediction right now. Evil white dude. every episode, it's so that it was almost like a Scooby-Doo moment when they took the helmet off too. It was like, oh my god, it's so dumb. And
What's
well,
and what's with the PSA like talking, describing stuff? Sounds like PSA to me. I'm over PSAs, really, I am.
yeah, me too. Yeah, but again, there's no subtlety whatsoever. It's like Mikey Spock comes along because she's the bestest ever, and yeah, yeah, and it gets them to talk. So apparently they'd been at war with one another for like 100 years or some shit, and because Mikey Spock shows up, that's all they had to do. He had to take his bug helmet off, and they had to talk to one another, and now they're friends. Yay!
Oh no, she treated them like children, made them sit down at a table and say sorry and kiss each other.
Pretty much.
It's kind of what it felt like.
It was mind-numbingly stupid. I don't know what the point of this episode was, other than to get the little girl with the bad teeth on the ship.
And apparently, she inherited the Trill from her captain.
Did they explain how she ended up with the Trill?
I think they're going to leave that for the next episode coming up.
Oh, God. I can't keep track. See, even they can't keep track of their own bullshit because, like, the Burnham, right? All dilithium supposedly imploded all at the same time.
Wasn't it exploded?
Imploded, and then, they said exploded, and then they're saying it became inert, and then they're saying that it became inert, and it only blew up ships that were at warp speed when they had. I can't fucking keep track of that bullshit, and they can't either. And so I'm confused, man. I'm confused.
That sounds about right. Everything went boom all at once.
Yeah, and
galaxy wide.
Yeah,
I know. Q in the continuum, he was bored and he snapped his finger.
Now I want to go watch TNG.
Yeah, TNG is good. I was doing a retrospective with some episodes on Mirasphere's channel today. We've done a few of those. So nice to talk about good Star Trek. I mean, like even the episode of TNG where Beverly Crusher got seduced by a space ghost was better than this shit.
Dude, that DS9. Okay. Excuse me. I had to finish chewing on my Netty Buddy here. So that DS9 documentary, have you seen it?
What We've Left Behind?
Yeah.
I don't think I've
own
seen it yet.
Yeah.
We'll have to do a watch party of that.
Oh yeah.
The story behind that quote unquote eighth season or whatever that he wants to do, the story with that sounds phenomenal.
It sounds very interesting. Yeah.
But
we're going to be doing something interesting tomorrow. Now, I noticed something. I was watching an episode of Dark Matter, and I noticed something interesting. They were living the same day over and over again, one particular one particular crew member. So
don't drive angry.
There was also an episode of Stargate SG-1, Season 4, Episode 6, Window of Opportunity. They were also reliving the same day over and over. So we're going to go over that tomorrow.
Okay.
Because they're both done really good. Both episodes. You can. It's almost as if they were a complement of each other in some ways. I basically what you do is you watch Stargate episode first, and then you watch the Dark Matter episode. And because of the similarities between them, it's interesting. And you all know that was it Joseph? Was it Mazzola or Mazzoli? How do you say his last name? He's one of the people involved in it. In both, actually.
Huh. Did not know that. That's interesting. Yeah, the TNG one, I think it's called Cause and Effect. Yeah, that was a good episode. Yeah, that's one of the things I noticed is TNG, man, when you get to season 6 and 7, you really start to have some stinkers in there. It's hard to pick a top 3 for season 7 for me of TNG. I can only come up with like 2 that I really like, I think. I think for season 7 for me, there would be I don't know. Back to Discovery, man. Jesus Christ, how are they going to squeeze another season out of this shit show?
Well, I suspect the last episode will be called Nail and Coffin.
I wouldn't put it past them because People of Earth wasn't exactly a very creative name for the episode that we saw.
Do you notice what some people referring to Earth as? Terra Prime.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the first time that I think I can remember it being referred to that way.
I know they call it the Terran system.
Yeah, Terran system, but if other alien species thought of the planet as Terra Prime. I have to look into that, see if there's any history with it.
Yeah. I wonder what lame explanation they're going to give for the Burnham. Do you think they will explain it? I don't think they are going to explain it. I think it'll just go unexplained.
The burn?
Yeah.
Now, wouldn't it be funny if they actually blame it on the Q?
I don't think these writers are smart enough to do that.
Be funny if it turned out that way. Be a waste of story.
Yeah. I think if they're going to go that route, it'll turn out that Mikey Spock was a Q. Swear to God, I think she's going to be some sort of a deity. I think she will.
I did happen to see a little quick snippet where they threw Q on an episode of Lower Decks.
Oh, they did they?
Yeah.
I haven't watched any of the Lower Decks.
And I'm assuming it's still John Delancey doing the voice, but yeah, I saw some quick little snippet, and sure as shit, in the they had him dressed up in the the kingly the kingly looking outfit that we saw him in originally on TNG.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like somewhere in another universe there's good Star Trek being made.
Yeah, the Vic Mignogna universe.
Maybe that's why they all those people were trying to kick him. Maybe that was the reason behind the whole kick Vic thing. They're like, oh, wait a minute, he's making good Star Trek. We can't stay. No, that we can't have that. We're gonna say that he did bad things. Yeah.
I think that happens a lot in Hollywood. I mean, I think if there is anybody around that's more talented than you are, they have a scarcity mentality and they have to get rid of that person. And I think that's what I think that's what happened to Walter Mosley, honestly, when he was in the Star Trek Discovery writers room. Like, this dude knows how to actually write a story. He's going to make us look bad. Get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too bad that happened because he was a good writer.
He's a good writer. I mean, he had what they really need, which is someone with some experience. Because I watched the interview with the girls that wrote the episode that that was on this week, and wow, there's some dummies.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're not dealing with Mensa candidates here. Put it that way.
Well, I mean, and I'm all for, I'm all for giving opportunity to the, to the gifted, so to speak. But yeah, I don't know. It seems like and hopefully it's coming, it's gonna turn around to where they're, they start hiring people for their talent and not what not what gender or orientation they are,
Yeah, talent for talent's sake.
Yeah.
Meritocracy. Yep. Well,
because I mean, as much as like say Tilly, say that gal that plays Tilly, walked up to me and said, "Hey, I got an idea." And then Wes walks up to me and says, "Hey, I got an idea." As much as I like, redheads and boobs and stuff, if Wes had a better idea, I'd be, I'd like, sorry, Tilly. But,
well, you just hire Tilly as a personal assistant. That's what
yeah, she could, I mean, hey, that's how Kathleen Kennedy started out,
Yep.
Oh God.
Yeah, maybe that's what happened. She had some dirt. Yeah, it was tough. That was a literal hate watch, that episode of Discovery this week. I was getting mad. I was getting mad.
Yeah, I think after I watched it tired me out, and I think I was asleep by 10. After that,
I made an honest to goodness 20-minute review on that episode, and I haven't done a video in a very long time.
So Wes, Renegades, was that just a single movie or whatever, or are there more episodes of that?
I believe there are more episodes of that. I think there are some. Yeah, I believe there are more episodes. Let me check here, because I believe there's some where they have more of the Voyager cast showing up.
So, I mean, are we in store for more Renegades then? Oh, wait a minute, you're not doing Trek this Tuesday, are you?
Nope. This Tuesday I'm going to be covering the election.
Yeah. Which
Yep.
I'll be I'll be paying attention to that. But okay, so like Tuesday after next, what are we looking at for trekking on Tuesday?
CC was talking about maybe revisiting some of the one of the Star Trek Continues episodes that I don't think he was on one of the watch parties for. So we may revisit another one of those. I'm trying to think which one he wasn't on.
I think we were talking about episode 8. but
He
then
was-
but then he decided he wanted to see Renegades instead. So.
Yeah, no, we did the one on episode 8. Let's see. I think maybe episode 5. Maybe episode 5 is the one. As another one that he wasn't on the watch party for. We could do Renegades. See, I'm up for any of the fan stuff. We could do Star Trek Phase 2 also. There's one of those that I want to watch.
I think I've seen the Phase 2. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I do think Star Trek Continues is better.
Which, the thing is, like, I mean, Continues is like would be awesome if they if they let Vic be in charge, to have it actually be quote unquote official Star Trek. But so would Renegades, because Chekhov being an admiral and basically running, like this Black Ops type of, operation, I mean, there's all kinds of potential goodness in a show like that,
I think they should let them all make their vision of Star Trek, and they should compete, and they should be able to raise their own money to do the production, and have a deal where they just raise their own money via Kickstarter and let Alex Kurtzman compete in that process too, and have them make their own, and just have CBS get a cut off of it, or if they really like it, purchase it outright. I mean, why not?
Man, in order to get any good Star Trek, all the people that have been contributing to bad Star Trek would have to be fired.
Oh yeah.
But it's just.
I'm saying let him compete. I mean, if Alex Kurtzman wants, but I don't think it's about Alex Kurtzman making Star Trek. I think it's about Alex Kurtzman making $25 million. I think that's what it's about.
Yeah. And speaking of,
and a little bit of signification going on in their little pointy fingers pointing at this and pointing at that.
Well, that's what he said. He's using it as a platform. That's what he wants it for. So I think if you did have it to where if you let independents raise their own money and make their own production like Vic did, Alex Kurtzman wouldn't be interested in doing anything like that. He's like, no. It's like he would find something else. He's like, hey, why don't we do another mummy movie, and we'll make the mummy, a transgendered mummy, and I don't know. Fuck. It's so bad. I wonder if the guy's being blackmailed. I wonder if that's what's going on.
Well, it's like a lot of
sometimes. People, that's a whole lot of bad.
It seems like a lot of people are like, they're activists making a living as actors and directors instead of them being actors and directors first, and then on the side, when they're in on hiatus or whatever, they're their own little side project or whatever, that's when they do their activism, or that's But apparently it's not like that anymore. Now you have to be like, putting your activism in your work, instead of just doing a good job and then, having a side hustle as, this cause or that cause,
Right.
I just want a good story, if they have a compelling character that's, whether it's a white dude or a white chick or an in-betweener or a black chick or a mixed person or a gay person or a trans person, as long as they're written well and it's a good story, that's all I'm interested in. I just want a good story. Can I have a good story, please? May I have a good story, please?
Yeah, good story. We want good stories.
it's not any simpler and it's not any more complicated than that.
Yeah.
And these fucking assholes don't seem to understand that.
Right. Which, in that DS9 documentary, I did pick up on a couple of
Wokeness.
virtue signaling points, but
Yeah,
just a couple though. I mean, it wasn't it wasn't
yeah.
real bad, but at the same time, as far as the TV show goes, it wasn't there in the TV show. They weren't like, oh, hey, look, Cisco's a black man. Hey, look, everybody, a black man. It's like they weren't beating us over the head with it.
No.
So they made Cisco literally a god, and I bought it because they had the setup and payoff and the good writing that made that journey believable.
Yeah.
But he went through the growing pains though.
Yeah, Mikey Spock is the bestest ever, and we're just supposed to accept that because everybody says she's the bestest ever.
Yeah. Cisco actually had a journey to becoming that emissary, instead of starting out that way.
Oh yeah, he resisted it. He didn't want any part of it. Even some of the Bajorans didn't appreciate the fact that why are they picking an outsider to be the emissary? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it was well written. Well written. Are you listening, Discovery writers?
The prophet's choice.
Yep. Yeah, they're not listening. They're not listening. They don't care. If they do listen, they send their minions after us to.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should go poop on their lawn.
Yeah, I'll wear a bug-headed helmet when I do it too, since I'm an evil white dude.
Yeah. Sounds like a good time to play a song and wash it out.
A musical interlude?
Yeah. Fairly newer song, The 11th Hour. It's 11th hour, there's energy building. It's 11th hour, the energy is building. Yes, it's on its way. Walking silence is golden. It's so loud. Raise your head, look up to the sky, how we're meant to fly. The fingers pointing, maybe pointing back. There's this feeling growing. The payments due, we all know someone will have to pay. It's the 11th hour. It's 11th hour, there's an energy building. Yes, it's on its way. Walking in silence, silence is golden. It's so loud. Raise your voice, raise your head. Look to the sky, are we meant to fly? There's fingers pointing, maybe pointing back. There's a feeling growing, the payments due. We all know someone will have to pay. It's the 11th hour. It's 11th hour, there's an energy building. Yes, it's on its way. Walk in silence, silence is golden. It's so loud. Raise your head, look to the sky. Are we meant to fly? There's fingers pointing, maybe pointing back. There's this feeling growing. The payments due. We all know someone will have to pay. It's the 11th hour. It's 11th hour, there's an energy building. Yes, it's on its way. Walking silence, silence is golden. It's so loud. Raise your head and look to the sky. It's 11th hour, there's an energy building. Yes, it's on its way. Yeah. Yeah, 3 new songs. Yeah. That one, I'm kind of liking that one. How'd you feel about the newest one?
Yeah, I liked it. I was kind of trying to let the lyrics sink in.
Oh yeah, it's saying something without saying something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's got a funky beat, Dick, and I can dance to it.
So
Did
another.
you hold on? I don't think Dick heard that. Dick, did you hear that? Hello? Oh no, we lost him.
Well, I
Back to you,
mean,
Chet.
he is, he's a ghost now, so he
Yeah.
probably heard it.
Yeah, so the first two songs that are played the most newest. These last three songs, they're fairly new. Tornado on Main Street. I had been working on the lyrics in that song and changed a little here, changed a little there, and it was looking kind of complete. So, and then there's the other song, "Cross the Ocean of Time." That song, I had been working on the lyrics to that one too. Around about a month for about both of them. And the 11th hour, that one was just kind of spontaneous. Certain things influence me, and I just start writing, and then I'll just Twitter direct message it back to myself. And I got a bunch of these little sayings and prose that along the way that a word or two here and there, and I get inspired, and then I'll write something and send it to myself. And so I had a collection of little things that I had sent to myself, and I put it into a Word file. And that's kind of how the 11th hour came about in that way.
Awesome. Yeah, you got to strike while the iron's hot.
Right. And you're not kidding, man. When it comes to being creative, if it's in your head, you're thinking it, you got to start jotting it down because it will go away. I've had a couple things like that. A couple, 2 or 3 sentences here and there every now and then. Write it down real quick. It's going to go away. Because basically a song is like energy. You write it down, it's energy. It's a positive thing. And then pretty soon you got a group of verses of that song together. Then when you put your voice to it, you're giving power to that song. And that's what's so beautiful about songs is you can meld the vocals with the instrumentation. And then what I do is I'll create 4 vocal tracks from the main vocal track. And then I'll add a background vocal, and sometimes what happens is there's harmonization that happens between the background and the main track vocally, and it's that sweet spot, and it almost sounds like reverb, but it's not. It's the harmonization of the 2 voices together. Because basically when I record the background vocal track, I'm also singing along with the one already recorded because I'm listening to it, and I'm making sure that I harmonize in certain places. And it can be hit or miss, but a lot of times it's a lot of fun. It's fun doing it.
Yeah.
It's just different. I enjoy it. I get a kick out of it. Just a little bit more positivity putting out there,
For sure.
So, how you guys feeling? You want to go on, or you want to go around?
I'm fading a little bit here. I don't know. I don't know if you want to segue into election predictions, wrap it up.
Well, we know who's going to win.
Yeah.
The way things are, man, it really don't look good for Biden.
No.
And I don't get too serious on my channel when it comes that way, but it is the election time of year, and I like the people to come here and get a break from that a little bit, But the way I think it is, I think that I don't think Biden's going to do very well. I just don't. It don't look good. Things that I'm seeing don't look good, and yeah, I think it's not going to go well for him.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, you know, the kids used to like to come up and rub the hair on my legs, and that would turn blonde in the summertime because of the sun, and 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 yeah, come on, man.
I still don't know what this whole corn pop thing is. What the fuck is this corn pop stuff?
I think
Corn Pop.
I think
Is Corn Pop a
was like
person?
his. I think Corn Pop was like his granddad or something. I don't know. I don't know. It's
His African American grandpa that had cornrows. That was
yeah. No, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
But it's a good cereal.
Maybe that's what he was talking about. Cereal.
I remember Kellogg's made corn puffs.
Yeah, I
remember corn pops.
I remember corn puffs. Maybe it's like, you know, the end. Maybe it's like the beginning of Citizen Kane, where Citizen Kane gets ready to die, and his last word is Rosebud, and that's Biden's last word. We're just going to be debating about what corn pop means for 3 hours after he dies.
That's funny because Jerry Garcia's got a guitar named Rosebud.
Now, I mean, whenever it's his time, but I just picture creepy Joe, on the bed, just laying there. All of a sudden, he opens his eyes, and it's like, "Come on, man!" And then that's it. That like that's the last breath.
See, he'll be enveloped in fire, and there'll be like a red dude with a pitchfork, laughing over him to be like, "Come on, man!"
All right, this is what Rosebud is. That's the guitar that Jerry played. This
awfully
is a
small.
with him. How's that?
Yeah. No, I was talking about the other one. That's
Rosebud. That's Rosebud that he's playing. Yeah. That's a guitar.
Oh.
No, there was a picture. It was just like a hand-sized one up there.
Oh yeah, that's there is a hand-sized one. It's a collector's item. It's like a replica, small. Put on a shelf, put it in a glass, put a glass tube over it, and you got yourself some Americana.
Is it a ukulele?
No, it's a Warlock, man. It's an electric guitar.
Well, I mean the little one.
I don't think that's an actual instrument. It's just a miniature. It could be. Who knows? But there's a handheld one there. But let me see if I can get a good one here. This is the actual. That's Rosebud right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's Rosebud.
I will get by.
Now, put in here and put Wolf.
Gotta say, Citizen Kane is held up to be one of these really amazing films, and I liked it, but I don't see it as the classic that a lot of people seem to see it as. I thought that. Okay,
I don't remember seeing it myself, actually.
This is Wolf right here. It's got the wolf on the bottom right there. Here's a better one.
So I mean, of those classic movies, like It's a Wonderful Life, that felt like a classic movie to me. And
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And Gone with the Wind, dude, what an amazing movie that is. Yeah. That is an amazing film. But Citizen Kane, I never really. It was good, but I didn't really. I don't know.
Oh, everything's so wonderful, Mary. Everything's so wonderful. Yeah.
Dude, when he got into the fight with when he insulted his child's teacher, and then he met her husband in the bar, and he's like, "You just insulted my wife," and he punched, and he gets punched. That was great.
Right. Yeah, I believe I have the colorized version of It's a Wonderful Life and the black and white.
Yeah. Well, I think this year I'm going to watch the Mel Gibson film where he's Santa, and
Yeah,
maybe
when's that come out?
I don't know, but I have a feeling that might be my new favorite if the trailer is any indication.
I'm a Mel Gibson
Fat Man.
fan. I like Mel Gibson movies. I gotta say,
dude, I've.
Nothing like a shoot 'em up movie, Mel Gibson movie, man.
I mean,
I love those ones.
If you watch that trailer and you're like, oh, holy shit, Mel is back. I mean, it was, yeah. And for anybody who listening who don't know what we're talking about, the movie is called Fat Man.
Fat Man.
And Mel Gibson is supposedly playing Santa Claus.
That kicks some serious ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Santa meets Rambo kind of.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
Or Martin Riggs. You know. Let's keep it a Mel Gibson character.
Let's have him meet the character from Conspiracy then, because yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to remember if I've seen that movie.
You know, Patrick Stewart was in that movie.
Mm.
Yeah, I think
really?
Patrick Stewart played like the CIA guy that shot him up full of truth serum, I believe.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I seem to recall something about someone getting their nose bit off or something.
Yeah, I think he bit.
Conspiracy theory.
Yeah, conspiracy theory. That's it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Patrick Stewart played in that. I think he got his nose bit off. In that.
I think he did. Yeah, I think he after he got injected, he injected Mel Gibson with the truth serum. He went he bit his nose off.
He was the original Duncan, Idaho. Patrick Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
But oh man, the thing like the Lethal Weapon movies though, Gary frickin' Busey, Mr. Joshua. Oh man,
Gary Busey made a pretty good Buddy Holly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made a good Buddy Holly. There's a couple other people that played Buddy Holly who did pretty good too. But Gary Busey was good. He was one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
He played Buddy Holly. Yeah. Decent movie.
Yeah, it really
what's the name of the guy that did the song Great Balls of Fire?
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, Dennis Quaid played him. That was good. That was good.
Yeah, boy, he really nailed that. He the whole controversy over his cousin or whatever.
Oh, speaking of Quaids, Randy Quaid did a freaking awesome little like a 5-minute freaking YouTube video.
Yeah, I seen it. It was
good.
Is that the one where he's talking about the Hollywood assassins?
No. He just giving a real positive message.
Yeah, it was like a for lack of a better term, like a political PSA.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It was short, sweet, to the point, and he didn't get too preachy.
I'm sure if you just put Randy Quaid in the search bar on YouTube, I'm sure it would come up.
I love Randy Quaid and all those. He was great in Independence Day.
Yeah.
And
hello, boys.
Yep, I'm back. And in the vacation movies, yeah, it was great.
Oh yeah.
I have all the vacation movies. And there's even a vacation movie where there's full frontals. Yeah. Only one of them though, I believe. It was actually rated R.
European Vacation, right?
I'm trying to remember now myself.
Well, I thought Beverly D'Angelo showed her boobs in a couple of them, didn't she?
I think it was only one, maybe two, but I'm pretty sure it's just the one.
Oh, then that's
the one that's rated R.
That's probably European Vacation, yeah, because somebody steals their camera and she ends up like on a French ad. with naked, because apparently that's okay in France, or was okay. I don't know.
Vive la France.
Yeah, I don't know if they're large with their large Muslim population, if that would fly now.
I don't know. Something tells me that France is still pretty body positive these days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Never know. You there still?
Yep.
Went silent.
I saw a spinny thing.
Yeah, I heard silence. I'm like, is there a spinny wheel?
Yeah, for whatever reason, when it gets around midnight around here, things decide to act up.
Yeah, same here. Same here. So yeah, I'm trying to track something down real quick. I want to take a look at the no. Right there. There we go. Because I have all the vacation movies.
Vegas Vacation was a fun one.
Yeah. Fun popcorn movie for sure.
Yep. Well, okay, Mr. Papa Giorgio.
Yeah. That kid got pretty slick with the gambling and all that, and oh yeah.
He's like, corrective lenses, I do not require them. That was hilarious. That was great.
Let's see here. All right.
Apparently, Chevy Chase is an asshole.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they say be careful about meeting your heroes.
Yep. That is true. You don't want to find out that your hero is human. That would... That's why I try not to have heroes.
Right. Or at least just not meet them.
Yeah, or not meet them. Yeah.
I've kind of got lucky. I've actually met a couple of mine. I got to meet Mark Coran. He was the guitarist for Rat Dog, Bob Weir's band, and for a couple of the for Further and I believe the Dead. When they played as the Dead and when they played as Further, he's a damn good axe man. I loved his guitar playing. He really did add something to Rat Dog. It was just something else. Good blues guitar. He actually beat cancer.
Oh wow, what kind did he have?
I'm not exactly sure, but I know that he beat it. Can't remember which kind. Well, obviously, I don't think it was brain cancer or blood cancer or anything like that.
Oh, blood cancer is pretty nasty.
Yeah. Let's see here. All right, let's see. For film vacation.
Hey, Wes.
So European vacation. Let's see.
I'm putting the link to that video in the private chat here.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I think you'll like it.
I'm taking a quick look.
Wow, he's lost a lot of weight.
Who did?
You might be able to even cut it up and use a couple of snippets in your videos. Some pretty good one-liners and whatnot.
Maybe it was the. It might have been. Let's see. No.
Interesting. I'll have to check it out. The rest of
Okay.
it.
National Lampoon's Vacation. It's the first one that's rated R.
Oh, okay. The pool. It must be the pool scene.
Well, there's the
Yeah.
pool scene. I don't know.
Yeah, because they were like kind of doing a little bit of skinny dipping action, I think.
Yeah. The pool scene. Yeah, she showed her
Yeah.
boobs in that one. Yep.
It's the bathroom scene
Yeah.
in the hotel room.
But freaking
It's the bathroom scene. It starts at 20 minutes, 8 seconds in. So yeah, that's pretty much why it's rated R. There's a full boob scene.
I can still just clear as day, you know, still, you know, Christy Brinkley in that freaking Ferrari. Oh yeah.
So yeah, and that one is the only one that's rated R because Voodoo had the bundle on sale, and I decided, oh, what the hell, I'll get the whole bundle.
There you go.
Yeah.
Gosh, you know what? The only movie I have on Vudu is JFK, the director's cut.
Is that the Costner movie?
Yeah. That's a hard movie to find physical copies of.
So yeah, Vegas Vacations PG and Christmas Vacations PG-13. European is PG-13. So yeah, the first one's the only one that's rated R.
Speaking of Costner, have either one of you guys seen his that Yellowstone show?
I've seen trailers and I've seen bits and pieces that don't look too bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like it'd be a pretty good show. Other than him, it's got like Cole Hauser is in it. He's a pretty good actor. There's a couple of more people in it too, but I just can't name them off right now. But it seems like it's be a pretty good show.
Well, why don't you guys go ahead and tell them where you can be found and what you're doing and what you're up to?
Oh, alrighty. Starting with Shellback.
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. Bottom up, right?
I think that's how we usually do it.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm not really doing much of anything right now. I suppose I need to get back to it, but my the one thing I want to plug is Sunday, along with Bear and I don't know if
Mandalorian Roundtable on Christmas.
Yeah, several people have been asked to appear, but yeah, the Mandalorian Roundtable on Chris Knight's channel, The Real Review 3000, is reconvening this Sunday at what is it, 7 p.m. Central? So yeah,
5 Pacific.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my one plug. Take it away, Wes.
Oh, okay. I am Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast. You can find me at youtube.com/Wes Moody Webcast. I talk about current events, pop culture, occasional conspiracy theories, occasional car talk, gaming streams, and I'll vlog about whatever the heck I want to because it is my webcast. You can catch my Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 1 review over there and my Star Trek Discovery Season 3, Episode 3 review. Please watch that one because I really had to do a lot of suffering with that.
Your cringe muscle still hurts, right?
Oh man, I think I've been lobotomized.
We might have to start a GoFundMe for some therapy.
Yeah, it's like that scene in Total Recall where the dude says, If you're not disconnected, you'll be lobotomized. And I didn't get disconnected in time.
Yep.
Oh God, there's another one classic right there.
So with that, is there anything else you got going on, Wes?
We have Trekking on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Pacific time. We have Whatever Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesdays. Whatever. And we have on Thursday, This Week in BS on Justin Proper's channel at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And of course, you can find me here on Bear's channel on Fridays and Saturdays, normally around 9-ish o'clock p.m. Pacific time.
And occasionally a random Thursday and a random Wednesday, because what the hell?
Right?
That's the way it happens around here. Well, with that, you can catch me tomorrow, and we will be going over an episode of Dark Matter and an episode of SG-1 on how both episodes, they relive the same day over and over and over again. And I believe there's a Star Trek episode. One of the Star Treks does that too, right? Am I right? Next Generation? Was it Next Generation?
Cause and Effect.
Cause and Effect. Is that Deep Space Nine? Was that the one?
Where they relive the same day over again?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was DS9. It was
Next Generation.
Yeah, it was Next Generation. They they got this. That's where Kelsey Grammer shows up.
Yeah, might go over that a little bit too. We'll skim that one a little bit, but yeah, and that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. And,
yep.
Wes, Steven, and FinalDeathStar, they come on when they can. And I think FinalDeathStar, he's been having some work-related training and all that stuff, and his work has started back up, and that's a good thing. And so we may or may not see Final tomorrow, but we'll see who shows up. And normally it's a thing that we like to do, like to be spontaneous, have fun, and thank you to the chat, because it wouldn't be fun without the chat, because we got the best chat in the community. And with that, we're going to play 2 more songs. And welcome to the after show, and then into the Looking Glass. Have a great night, and we'll play these 2. Hail.
Good night. See ya.
Right on.
You gotta write the script. You need a script doctor. Welcome to the after show. Waiting for the gig. We're waiting on the rig. We all had things to say. We all know it's true. We raised our glass. We raised them high. Till we seen dawn's light. You gotta write the script. You need a script doctor. Welcome to the after show. Waiting for the gig. We're waiting for the rig. We all had things to say. We all know it's true. We raised our glass. We raised them high. Till dawn's light. You gotta write the script. You need a script doctor. Welcome to the after show. Waiting for the gig. Waiting on the rig. We all had things to say. We all know it's true. We raised our glass high till we seen dawn's light. You gotta write the script. You need a script doctor. Welcome to the after show. Waiting for the gig. Waiting on the rig. We all had things to say. We all know it's true. We raised our glass high till dawn's light. We raised our glasses. You gotta write the script. You need a script doctor. Welcome to the after show. Waiting for the gig, waiting on the rig. We had some things to say, we know it's true. We raised our glass, we raised them high, till we seen dawn's light. You gotta write the script, you need a script doctor. Welcome to the after show. Hail.
Hail.
One more and then we'll say goodnight. Let me tell you that girl, she's got some class. I've stepped through the looking glass. In a dream in rich glass. Let me tell you that girl, she's got some class. So raise your glass. When you see times like these again, I can take your pain. She sure does have some class. I've been far quiet. These two lessons, they say it's the best in the West. No, one girl with no stop I step through the looking glass. Let me tell you that girl, she's got some class. Step through the looking glass. You drink and raise your glass. Let me tell you that girl, she got some class. So let's raise your glass. Oh, she's not like a easy kid. I can't take your pain. Ain't gonna reach for every man. I can't take your pain. I see a man reaching down. I stand through the looking glass. Well, she sure does have some class. I just don't care. He's still wears a West Indies that say it's the best. That's what we know to enjoy Northern folks. Let me tell you that girl, she got some class. I'm standing through the looking glass. If the drink raise your glass. Let me tell you that girl, she got some class. So raise your glass. Won't see times like these again. I can't take your pain. Take a page from the pen. I can't take your pain. I see a hand reaching down. I step through the looking glass. Boy, she sure has some class. I got the blame. These two best friends, he says it's the best in the West. With his from North, under the morning rose. Let me tell you that girl, she's got some class. Let me tell you she got some class. Let's get into the class. We'll see times like this again. Well, thank you for stopping by and appreciate you. And we will see you next time.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you for stopping by. And yeah.